So with that, just a quick reminder of your Khan Academy team. You've got Chelsea, that is your partnership manager. You've got Francis and Victoria. They are busy supporting your administrators in a concurrent learning session right now. We've got Cheryl on the rostering team, and Jennifer and myself are the professional learning specialists to support the West Coast as well as all of your districts. So we're so excited to have you here. If you have questions as we go through today, please feel free to add those questions to the chat. I'll definitely make time to answer them as we go. Okay. So a couple of things. First, our agenda. We are right in the midst of our welcome and introduction. We are going to be deep diving into our Khanmigo teacher tools. We will have some time, an interactive time for you to get a chance to experience what Khanmigo has to offer, to maybe plan something that you can take and use with your students tomorrow. We will spend some time sharing out about your learnings and then also cover our student embedded supports within Khan Academy and Khanmigo. And so with that, and if everyone could make sure that they are muted just as we are talking today, okay? And so we are going to go ahead and start off with a question. I'm going to put it on my screen. When you are ready, I would love to have you add your answer into the chat.
She was on her way to work when her 18
Go. So if you could effortlessly enhance your teaching with Khanmigo, which would have the biggest impact on your teaching? You've got 4 choices. You don't have to choose just one. You might decide that there's maybe 2 or 3 that work for you here. Okay, I'm seeing A's and B's mostly. C and D, B and D. Okay. Okay, lots of A's. Hooking students with activities tied to interests and their lives. Love that. Okay, so basically we've got every option. Every one of these items are something that you are excited to bring to your students and hoping to have Khanmigo help with. And that's something we'll talk about today in the ways in which you can use Khanmigo to do all of these things. And so with that, let's dive in. So I would love for us to start with our teacher tools. If you have a Khan Academy account already, definitely recommend that you go ahead and jump in there and you are going to your Khanmigo teacher tools. If you were here the previous, about 2 weeks ago, Jennifer did a nice job of overviewing some of those tools with you. I am going to take you in there again. If you have not created a Khan Academy account, or if you don't have a Khan Academy account, you can always set one up. It is free to join, and you will have those Khanmigo teacher tools available for you there. And so khanacademy.org. And we are going to our Khanmigo teacher tools. I'm going to go live into the platform in just a second to help you navigate there. Thank you, Jennifer, for adding that into the chat. All right. Once you are in the dashboard, you've got Khanmigo and under the drop down here at the top, teacher tools. You've got Khanmigo tools under where it says welcome. Both of those will take you to our 27 exciting and colorful teacher tools that support you with building customized, differentiated lesson supports for your students. I believe Jennifer took you through last time some of the different tools that exist. You do have tools that are coded in the light purple color for planning, instructional planning materials. You have tools coded in a light green color. Those are great for creation of educational materials and supports. You've got tools that are coded the light kind of salmon colored. Those are great for differentiation of materials. And we've got our support and learn tools in blue and yellow. The tools that I want us to jump into today, as we think about how do we craft and create materials that are going to support all the learners in our classroom, we are going to deep dive into 3 of them to start. And then I'm going to give you time to explore and to see how these tools can help you craft the materials that you can use with your students. So we are going to go through 3, and I'm just going to quickly tell you what those 3 are, and then we'll deep dive a little bit, show you the power of Khanmigo, and then I will give you time to explore. So we've got our discussion prompts. This is a great tool for engaging and crafting engaging prompts to stimulate those meaningful discussions in your classrooms. I highly encourage you to try this with maybe math as a subject and thinking about engaging your students in math discourse. We've got clear directions to generate concise, easy to follow instructions for assignments and activities. And in our differentiate section, which is my personal favorite as someone who was an elementary school teacher, this would have changed my life. Our chunking text tool is a great tool for breaking complex texts into manageable pieces. So we are going to focus on those tools, and something that I want you to really consider as we go through that you will see me do is that you have the ability to craft and co-create with Khanmigo. You are the expert, you are the driving force. Khanmigo is another tool in your toolbox to help you save time as you are creating materials and components that you can use with your students in your classroom. And I want to show you some of the ways that you can modify and differentiate materials that you can bring to your students. So with that, I'm going to go on back. And we are going to, I'm going to bypass the discussion prompts because I want to give you a chance to explore there. Let's start with clear directions, actually. I'm going to go live into the platform for this. Clear directions is under my create area of my dashboard. Thank you, Jennifer, for adding the additional details for anyone who's still logging in to the Khan Academy dashboard. And I'm going to go ahead and choose clear directions. And you might be thinking, this is pretty simple. You know, making directions for something, maybe it's not that tough, but you know, sometimes crafting directions takes time. And sometimes you've got a project in mind and you're thinking, okay, I need something step by step that my students can do. And we know that we don't want our students to get stuck in just understanding the directions. We want them to dive right into the task. So clear directions can be a great tool to start off with. So I'm going to click on into that. And you will notice that as a teacher, I've only got 2 items to fill in. I don't have to spend a lot of time here. I can select my grade level. I'm going to say, let's say I was 6th grade, and I'm going to choose my assignment. I can give a pretty overall idea of what I want this assignment to be, the description of the assignment or an activity. I'm going to put in an example here right now. Let's say I want my students to create a diagram of the water cycle. I want them to include a real world example of what does this look like. And I can just start there. I'll press start. Okay, Khanmigo goes to work. I've got some of my steps. Here it is, research the water cycle. Here's my main stages of the water cycle. Include a diagram, write a paragraph, review your work. Perfect, love it. But I know my students best. I know that I need some additional supports for my students. I know that I've got English language learners in my class. I need to do a little bit more refining in this particular tool. I can, as a teacher, hover next to areas that I might want to have Khanmigo make changes to. See that little purple bar on my screen? I can click that and bring up the editing toolbar. I can ask Khanmigo to make changes to this, try something different. I can ask Khanmigo to discuss this, and I can really deep dive. I'm going to go ahead and just start with deep diving in with discussing it with Khanmigo. And you see Khanmigo on the far right corner, little cute googly eyes, that's Khanmigo. I'm going to click Khanmigo and just bring Khanmigo out. And Khanmigo says, okay, I've written a draft of the assignment directions. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm thinking about my students and I want to make this work for all the learners in my classroom. So maybe I can ask Khanmigo to provide support ideas for students with different learning modalities. Let's say that I want to do that. Learning modality. I'm just going to put that in. And Khanmigo's going to go to work. Here we go. I've got some ideas of things that I can include or consider as I'm thinking about these, just clear directions. Maybe I'm thinking, okay, I've got students who speak Spanish primarily, that is their first language. Can I translate and get Khanmigo to give me a copy of this clear directions that was created in both English and Spanish? I'll say provide the directions in both English and Spanish. And there I go. Voila. I can go ahead and have that copy in English and Spanish. And maybe I just need some quick work done in a particular area. I'm seeing that Khanmigo's listing the stages of the water cycle, but I know that my students are going to need some support with remembering what are those stages of the water cycle. So I can go ahead and I can ask Khanmigo to maybe define the key vocabulary and add that into my directions. And it's going to Khanmigo. Oh, and I've also got it in Spanish. There we go. I've got my key vocabulary. I can copy that over if I want. I can go ahead and just copy it and I can go ahead and drop it in. I'll just paste it directly in there. But I can go ahead and craft this the way that I need it to work for my students. Okay. So that was clear directions. Don't forget, and I shouldn't have gone away from that, I can always go back to my documents. Teachers, you always have the ability to whatever you created with Khanmigo, the great work of art that you created, you can go back and you can access that again. If you've clicked away, maybe the bell rang and you're like, oh, I need to go. You can come back, you can share, you can print, and you can export that information. I can do the same with my next tool that I'm going to have you explore in just a second. Oops, let me go back, which is our chunk text tool. So with my chunk text tool, this is one of my favorites. I can take a text that I have digitally, and I can copy and paste it here into my tool. I created one earlier with Khanmigo's help with one of our other teacher tools, our informational text, on the American Revolution. It was causes of the American Revolution. I'm just going to grab that text. It's about 300 words. Paste it right in. Takes me just a minute. You can see the text here. Then I have the option to ask Khanmigo to chunk that text for comprehension, or chunk a shorter text by fluency, by phrases for fluency. I'll choose comprehension. And Khanmigo goes to work. Here's my chunked text. Let me show you my original text that I was working with. Here's my original text that I asked Khanmigo to create for me on the causes of the American Revolution. You can see the various paragraphs here. Here's my chunked version by central ideas, by central topics, reduced for those students that need it. Okay, so now I'm going to give you the chance to try out these tools yourself. You are going to take a few minutes to go in and give these tools a try. We also are providing some suggestions for some additional tools that you can jump into right in your teacher tools, like lesson plan, or many of you mentioned making it relevant to students' lives. Try that one, craft it, ask Khanmigo to make changes. I'm going to drop that item in for you into the chat right now. It is going to ask you to make a copy when you open up that document. And I'm going to have to reduce that time to about 3 minutes, only because there's still so much to show you. So 3 minutes time to just explore here. And let me get my little timer. I forgot to mention that on that second page of that document are some sample prompts that you can use to engage with Khanmigo, some topics that you can try out on your side if you don't have ones already in mind. An awesome suggestion, Jennifer. Jennifer's saying that if you are struggling to think of a topic, just think of something. What are you teaching in the next week, or maybe a unit that you're going to be going into in the next couple weeks? That can be a great idea. Ooh, love that idea. Even a topic as you're thinking about state assessments. And if you just joined, I am dropping in the handout that we're currently working in as we're exploring our Khanmigo teacher tools. About 1 more minute of time exploring. Again, you'll have this handout, so you can always take a little extra time yourself later. All right. All right. I know that that was not near enough time, but I hope that you got a chance to just dabble and just see what are the possibilities here. So my question to you, after your just quick exploration so far, what you saw me do, Is there a tool that sticks out to you already that you're like, hey, I'm excited to try this. I want to give this a go and see how this can transform my teaching or just simply save me a couple hours in my week? And are there some creative ways that you envision incorporating these into your classroom? Feel free to add that to the chat. Or even, is there a tool that you're like, I haven't had a chance to really try it much, but this sounds interesting to me and I'd like to, check it out. So that chunking text resource, Bethany, love it. Discussion prompts is one of my favorites. I mentioned especially for math because, we're working on that math talk and discourse, make it relevant. Wonderful. Okay. Well, I'm excited for you to deep dive further into those tools to think about how you can bring them into your classroom, how you can use them to support the learning of all your students within your classroom. As we talk and just honestly finish up our conversation, because guess what? We have a short period of time together. Couple of things I want to remind you on the student side of things. There are embedded supports for students as they are working within the platform. You might be familiar with our Khan Academy courses. We have offerings that pretty much for everyone. And so students can dive into our math courses. We have reading and language arts, arts and humanities, a whole list of different course offerings that are available for our learners. A reminder that Khan Academy is available in over 50 languages. And so it is possible for learners to come into the platform, go to the settings in their dashboard, and choose the language that they'd like to work within. There are over 50 languages to choose from. Khanmigo is that extra layer of support. It's that extra addition within our platform. And if you are within a district that has partnered with us and has added on Khanmigo for students, now your students have an extra layer of support. And so as I talk and finish up with this last piece, talking about how Khanmigo can support all of our students, I am going to dive into this piece just a little further. And again, this is that extra layer if you've included this in as a paid portion of your platform. So Khanmigo is available for students. We like to say Khanmigo exists for students in companion mode when students are working within the content, our Khan Academy courses and content. And Khanmigo delivers real-time support and tailored scaffolding for students as they're working on those essential skills. And so students will see the ability for Khanmigo to be available for them as they are working in exercises, in articles, and videos. I'll go in just a second and show you that component. We also support usage with Khanmigo in different languages. And so Khanmigo is designed with multilingual capabilities and can function in many different languages. However, we make sure that those interactions are quality interactions. And so we officially support English, Spanish, Portuguese, and Hindi. When students are working with Khanmigo, some of the accessibility features that are available for them is they have a math palette and they're working on math problems. You'll see on the right corner of my screen, they also have text to speech and speech to text available. So if they're not able to do the typing or that's not something that they feel comfortable with, they can always put on those headphones, hear Khanmigo respond back to them. And something that's pretty fabulous is that the text-to-speech function is also available in those different languages. So students have the ability to choose and to put Khanmigo in a different language as needed. And also Khanmigo can have a different voice. There are 3 different options for Khanmigo's voice. And what that looks like, I'm gonna go back into my dashboard, is a student. I'm gonna go into my courses up here at the top. And let's say as a student, I am working in 8th grade math. Here are all of my units that exist for this particular course, but maybe my teacher has assigned me a practice exercise of working in, negative exponents as an example. I'm getting started, I'm ready to practice, and I'm going, select the equivalent expression. I need help. Khanmigo, can you help me? Here's Khanmigo, bottom of my screen. I can open out Khanmigo as a student. And now I've got Khanmigo functioning as a tutor, supporting me and giving me some options to help me dive in. I can ask Khanmigo to help me solve this, try a similar example, say, why should I care about learning this? I can go ahead and type away. I'll say, help me solve this, Khanmigo. Okay, it's asking me a question, providing me some support as I dive in. I could say, I don't know. And I could have changed the language for Khanmigo. Let me just go ahead. Let's say I want Khanmigo to respond to me. Didn't mean to click that. In Spanish. I needed to click Khanmigo voice. Here we go. Let's try again.
Un exponente negativo indica que debes tomar el recíproco de la base. ¿Cómo crees que podrías escribir y a la -2 usando esta idea?
All right, and so there you have it. Khanmigo's responding to me in the language that I selected. So this is one of the ways that students can get support with Khanmigo as they're working through those skills. Okay, so let's talk next steps because we are quickly coming to the end of our time. I hope that you enjoyed getting to explore Khanmigo teacher tools and thinking about how Khanmigo and Khan Academy can support all the learners within your classroom. As we're coming up to our next session on the 24th, we will be talking about supporting summer learning. And again, in May, celebrating student success. We are so thankful that you got a chance to join us for today, and we look forward to seeing you again. I will close out with our quote from our CEO and founder, Sal Khan. This is our launch. And thank you so much for joining today. We hope to see you next time.